So Says Me in Virtualization and Cloud. I'm Kong Yang with Graviton.
And I'm TODD MUIRHEAD with VMware.
Hello Todd, long
Hey,
time
Kong.
no see.
Yeah.
We've both been going in.
It's been the season of
In and
travel
out.
this fall.
Yes,
all
sir,
over
it
the place
is.
for both of us, yeah.
And on today's show, we're going to talk, since we're both in town finally, we're going to talk about cloud performance, cloud in general, some of the observations that I saw at Amazon Web Services. Did see some of your colleagues from the VMware VCAC team in there. By the way, Graviton integrates with VMware vCloud Director and VCAC.
That was a smooth plug, I like that.
Yes.
Very smooth. Almost didn't even notice it. Yeah, so it was the performance in the cloud, there's all these different ways to look at it. One of the things that was interesting when I did the hands-on labs was we did a performance lab in the cloud, right, to be run. And so, the actual lab itself is teaching you about performance of our platform specifically and specific feature, that kind of stuff. But when we actually developed the lab, we had to test the performance of the performance lab in the cloud. And so there's a lot of testing we had to do first to functionally make sure it worked. And then put it into load, and making sure that things didn't fall apart. And of course, when you first put something together like that, you do find things that are issues, and you go back and you have to, figure out how to work around those things. So it usually ends up being resource allocation. So we didn't have enough resources for one of our VMs initially, and we increased it, and that kind of thing. So performance is everywhere.
It is. You can say performance is ubiquitous. I mean, it has to work. For cloud to work, I mean, quality of service, you cannot have any degradation, right, in there.
Yeah, and the thing is that at low levels, when we had, just like say 100 or a couple hundred users, everything worked great. It wasn't until you got into these really high levels, 3 or 4 times that, where you'd begin to see some of these things crop up. So it's difficult to find those problems unless you're under load like that, and sometimes it's hard to get.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, you bring up a great point, because VMware is by far the market leader in virtualization, i.e. also private, right?
Private clouds, yeah.
Yes.
Another way of saying it.
Exactly. But you look at Amazon, right? And they've come out and they've touted their performance, right? There was a recent article on their performance where one of their cloud architects, Chief something or other.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Not Warner, but one of the other chiefs up there came out and just said, we're doing X number of IOPS, we do this much bandwidth and so forth, and we don't have any QoS issues, right? And so forth. You get into the public cloud space, and that was one of the things that came out of AWS reInvent was one of the things that I took note of was the amount of folks who were, their private shops or private clouds were VMware, and their public clouds, they're either evaluating or on AWS, right? And then they want to marry the two, right, in there. So I think it's interesting dynamics there where Amazon wants to drop down into the enterprise, which you all own, and then you all want to go up to the public space, which Amazon has, a firm grip on. And in between, there's partners like us at Graviton who want to help customers get there, just like y'all do. Yeah. It's interesting because you guys are looking at performance, they are looking at performance, and eventually the handshaking of those apps, all those APIs and rules, it's a handful. And that was one of the big nets, was customers trying to get a grasp on that, because let's say they were a VMware shop. They vested all that expertise into there, and they have a firm understanding, right? Because you guys have been very good at evangelizing solutions, driving whatever you guys develop in the R&D labs, and then offering it up to customers to utilize, right, in production in there. And now they're trying to take it to the public cloud space because of initiatives within their orgs, right? In there, so it's going to be an interesting 2014 where it's either going to be a bitter divorce or it's going to be a continued refinement of that. And I'm hoping for the latter because there's definitely enough there's definitely enough piece of the pie for everybody in there, but for the end customers, I mean, making that piece cohesive and seamless is going to be the challenge.
It is, and I think the two ways that so Amazon is hugely successful, and then VMware's been hugely successful as well, and we're really addressing completely different segments of this cloud market, I think, so far. Where a lot of Amazon's apps were built on Amazon in the cloud to start off with their, what I would call kind of next generation applications and models. Whereas what we've done is starting in the data center, starting with existing applications that already existed on physical servers and moving those into virtual machines. So it's the same type of model that's been in place for a little while, where you've got servers, you have users, and it's very defined. Whereas Amazon is these more dynamic applications. So we're trying to move into some of the stuff that they offer, right? At the same time, they're trying to mature their offering in kind of the more traditional application space. So we're starting to overlap. At least that's my take on it. I'm not in the BCHS group, but it's just my observations of it. And so that actually, while we're both clouds and both successful, it's actually pretty different to date. So it is going to be interesting.
It is, especially for partners who are partners of both Amazon and VMware, in there. I think we're all rooting for a nice, clean integration, although it's two major G50, G25 companies. I mean, you guys are
I haven't looked
big
at the list
there.
lately.
So folks, let us know what you think of this. We didn't even get into any sports. Seahawks aren't a bye, that's why. Cowboys got a big one. Who do y'all have?
We have the Giants this week, so we're both crappy teams, but one of them's got to win the division. So.
Oh, not the Eagles, huh?
Oh, the Eagles, yeah, the Eagles are there too, but yeah.
All right, folks, let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.